Hi everyone, welcome to Homerino Collectibles, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Rocket Raccoon from the Guardians of the Galaxy wave. So as you can see, he also comes with a few accessories, just like Star-Lord. Very good. I'm glad that they did actually put something else in there to fill up the box instead of just giving us a little raccoon. But let's take a look at the bio on the back. Rocket Raccoon. Intergalactic bounty hunter Rocket Raccoon and his partner Groot are hot on the trail of their next big payday, the human known as Star-Lord. So that's a nice little heads up for the movie, and then we have a little picture right here, and then the rest of the wave and Groot. So let's get him open and see what he comes with. So first up we get the head and upper torso part of Groot, and this thing looks fantastic. This is actually the same size as Rocket himself. And if you want to check this out in more detail, I will be doing a review of Groot once I have reviewed the entire wave. So go ahead and subscribe and you'll be notified as soon as I get this video done. And then here is the second accessory that Rocket Raccoon comes with, and no, it is not the Star-Lord figure. It is in fact the rocket launcher thing that's attached to his chest. Basically what you're going to want to do to fit this is take off Star-Lord's bag, and then you can just wedge this thing underneath his cloak and it holds in position, and then you can take his hands and just put them on the triggers right there. And in the trailers we see him using this, and a giant rocket comes out of this thing, so pretty awesome. Is it something that Rocket actually makes for him, or is it actually one of his devices? Who knows, let's wait and see the movie, but we get it as an extra accessory, so with it not actually being for Rocket, that means that this guy is even better, because now he has even more posability options and display options and everything. So I'd say definitely pick this figure up if you want to utilize this thing. Otherwise, this is kind of worthless coming with Rocket. So that's that. And as you can see, like I said, it just kind of slides up there in between his cloak. So it just sits. It's molded so that it sits over his chest very well. So basically we just get a black wash over the silver, and we get some really nice gold paint apps here. It looks like this thing like collapses and everything, so it looks pretty fantastic, and can't wait to see who he uses it on or what he uses it on in the movie. So whilst I have Star-Lord out here, I'm going to bring in Rocket Raccoon and get the size comparison sorted straight away. And yeah, he's pretty small. And then here we have him next to Bucky, the Winter Soldier from the previous wave. So whether he's actually this size in the movie or not, whether he's a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, he looks absolutely fantastic stood with the rest of the Guardians. And as you can see, I have him stood here holding the one accessory that is actually meant for him, and that is his gun. Now his hand does actually fit around the trigger of this thing. I'm just trying to finagle it out here. This hand is more of like a kind of open hand, and this hand is a trigger finger hand, so I'm just going to bring that in close up to show you here. As you can see, there is the trigger finger. So let's see, basically you're going to want to have him hold the trigger in there, and then this fits around the arm like so. So even if you don't actually put it in, you just rest it there, it's very quick and easy just to put it on. So just a close-up look at this thing. Very cool. It's got the scope. It's a tan with a nice dark brown wash going through it. Lots of molded in detail here. The front of this does actually look a lot like the front of this over here, actually. So that could actually be like 4 rocket ports, and that could be like 4 rocket ports, or it could be lasers or something. So maybe this is something that Rocket actually made for Star-Lord, and that's why we get it with him. Or it might just be because that's the only box that they could actually fit it in with. But yeah, I do think that this is a very nice thing. So you can put it in his right arm, but his left one is the one that has the trigger finger, so it's what it's actually meant for. Now onto the figure itself. I am surprised in the amount of detail. I think that the detail they've used here is absolutely phenomenal, and you know, the molded in detail looks incredible. But I already knew that I was going to be disappointed with articulation. Now I know that it's a little, it's a little raccoon in comparison to the others and whatnot. And a lot of people are saying, well, what are you going to expect? You know, look at the last Build-A-Figure and whatnot. But everyone hated that Rocket Raccoon Build-A-Figure, and honestly I feel really sorry for the people that actually wanted to collect their comic book versions of the Guardians, because obviously they've got that Rocket Raccoon, then they've been able to buy that Drax too, And then the Star-Lord is actually part of a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive this year. It's in a box set. So I'm actually kind of annoyed about that, because there's some figures in that set that I really do like the look of. I wouldn't get that Star-Lord, but I know that there's a lot of people out there that wanted their comic book versions of them. So they've been able to pick up 2 figures, and then now they can't get a hold of that Star-Lord. So it seems kind of strange for me, and I think it must be frustrating for others. So they're looking to this Rocket Raccoon to try and get a better version than that crappy Build-A-Figure one that we got. So he does stand taller. That's fantastic. The detail on him looks absolutely incredible. However, he lacks leg articulation, and the face is, yeah. On the one hand, absolutely incredible molded detail, and the paint is done phenomenally, apart from just, I think this is pretty much most people's. That one side of the mouth, the black line just droops a little bit, kind of weird that it's on pretty much everyone's. But I mean, just look at him. Rocket Raccoon is a mercenary, and he's voiced by Bradley Cooper in the film, so he's this funny, angry, witty, pumped up little character that's probably going to carry the entire film. And honestly, looking at this thing, I mean, this thing's just sad. It looks like it's just watched its friend just become roadkill. I mean, look at it. Isn't that just the cutest, saddest raccoon that you've ever seen? I shouldn't be saying that. I should be saying, oh, look at this awesome thing. You know, it looks really angry and mean, and he's carrying these giant weapons and everything, this, that, and the other. But it's not. It's just sad, you know? And it's disappointing, because all of this other molded detail in here, you know, the sculpt is absolutely phenomenal. We got awesome paint apps running throughout his costume, and the tail looks awesome. So it is a little bit annoying, as I said, but if we move past that, the next disappointing thing is the legs. Now, some people have actually said that you have to use the tail to get him to stand up. You, in fact, don't. He can stand up on his own without the tail. If you put him right, do it, there we go. But it is a lot easier to use the tail. Unfortunately, the tail does only swivel all the way around. You can bring it out and whatnot, but that's pretty much just bending the plastic. It's not really actually like meant to do that, so it just spins all the way around. But as I said, no leg articulation. There's Marvel Universe figures that are this size that have leg articulation, and I know that there's some awesome detail in here, but they could have kept that and still put articulation in there. But never mind, it's not there. It's not too big of a deal. He does rotate at the waist, he turns left and right at the head and just a little bit up and down, and then the arms rotate, they go in and out, they swivel at the elbow as well as go in and out at the elbow, and then they swivel at the wrist. So he's got some good arm articulation. Head articulation's okay. Pretty much all animal figures, whatever figure that you get, they usually all have this kind of rotation on an angle there, left and right, but it looks good. I would definitely say pick this figure up if you are collecting the entire wave for Groot, or if you want all of the Guardians, because obviously he's a must-have. So that's something that Marvel can or should I say Hasbro can get away with here, because they know that people have to buy it if they want all of the Guardians. People who are disappointed at the last Rocket Raccoon, I would say that this is a better version, but it's still pretty bad, because I would prefer some leg articulation, and the face, it's just not angry enough, or it just doesn't have a funny smirk or something like Bradley Cooper. And so I would definitely say that if you're going to pick this up, then I would definitely get it on sale or something. I wouldn't pay normal price for it unless you are getting it to complete the entire wave. If you're just getting it on its own, I definitely don't think that it's worth it. And that's pretty much it for this review, guys. So I'm Homerino123 on Twitter and Instagram if you want to check out some pictures of my collection. Subscribe for new Marvel Legends videos, and let's end this thing with a cute raccoon.